little affair. The mere shadow of this idea made her slump scowling in her seat, hoping her hunch would be quickly proven wrong. "I'm going to park over there on the shoulder," the driver said. "The dirt road is just 100 meters away, and if I head down it, we might get stuck in the mud." "Okay," Fred said, putting on his backpack. Then, turning, he said, "Okay, kids, this is it. I want you to put all your trash in the trash bags and don't forget anything. Another bus will be picking us up, so take a good look around." The bus stopped, and the children's clamor filled up the space. A terrible racket that went straight through the head of Sandra Rene, who, wide-eyed, was horrified at the idea that the trip had just started, and already she had the burning desire to scream and hit any one of the crazed little demons. A few minutes later, the bus was pulling away in a nauseating cloud of thick smoke, and the little group, backpacks on, was headed to the dirt road that led into the forest. "Look carefully around you, children," Fred shouted, "and tell us if you recognize a plant or an animal that we've studied in class, okay?" The instructions made the somewhat ordered ranks of the fragile procession fall out, and the children started amusing themselves in uneven clumps on either side of the road. The walk was seriously slowed. The children were crouching and kneeling, some were even lying on the ground to observe moss, lichen, deadwood, beetles, and slugs in a noisy assortment of exclamations, invectives, and vague questions for the teacher, although none of them listened to the answers. "What happens when you crush a snail?" Enzo asked Lilou. She stared at him, eyes wide with terror, before turning to look at his raised foot, which was threatening to come crashing down on the little snail's bright yellow shell. Enzo was sporting his usual smile, and it was hard to tell whether it was the smile of a deranged child or a deliriously happy one. Regardless, anyone who met Enzo found him to be a creepy little boy, even if it was just an unpleasant sense of foreboding. The violence that came through in everything he did and everything he said made him a danger to be avoided. In his presence, people got in touch with their primitive survival instincts. Without realizing it, they tried to avoid him, and when they found themselves stuck with him, they feared the situation could degenerate at any moment. Little Lilou had that very feeling when Enzo slowly lowered his foot onto the snail. In silence, so the sinister crack of the shell being crushed could be heard loud and clear. An irrepressible sob rose in her throat. "A crushed snail is just a slug," Enzo yelled, laughing like a boy unhinged, and he took off, running, zigzagging through the tree trunks on the carpet of rotten leaves. Lilou swallowed her saliva, came back to her senses as if waking from a dream, and looked around her. A few meters away, Sandra, Jade's mum, was petrified. She had seen what happened without daring to intervene. Lilou knit her brow, her eyes dark and lightly veiled with tears, and ran towards a group of friends. Enzo's laugh echoed through the undergrowth. Nathan, Louis, and Ocean were the best friends in the world. They did everything together, gathered together every day at recess, and would have liked to sit together in class if Fred hadn't separated them because of their endless chatter. On weekends, they went over to each other's houses and sometimes even managed to talk their parents into letting them spend a few days of vacation together. None of them knew it was love, but clearly Nathan loved Ocean and Ocean loved Louis, and Louis loved his two friends with pure, unshakable devotion.